Did I just hit the villager there? I think I did. We lost an extra cleric. Hello everyone, welcome back to Minecraft. Today our mission is to get a shulker from the end dimension into the center of our shulker farm here, which we built in the last episode. So we need to get a shulker in this block space right here, opposite the snow golems. And so to do that, I've been doing some preparation, as I mentioned last time. Unfortunately, yeah, we had a lightning strike here, as you saw last episode, and we got some witches spawn, which is kind of useful actually. We need this redstone, since I was I was brewing some potions here, which should help us out. We got some instant health, and we also got some invisibility potions here. I want to grab some more powered rail, since we're going to use a mixture of rail and also... That's only 30. That's not ideal. Oh, you know what? We had some extra gold from the Bastion remnants that we looted last episode. We can probably use some of this, but I have some rail crafted already in some shulker boxes at the Shulker Farm. So I don't want to use too much of our gold on powered rail. We're going to use a mixture of powered rail and then also some flying machines as well. So let's head over to the overworld portion of the Shulker Farm, where we should have the rest of the resources waiting. And yeah, here we can probably prep some of this area, although I think we're going to send them the shulker through the nether. That crafting table cannot remain up there. So I think the plan is to send them through the nether and then have them come out in this portal here. I want to make sure that this is all spawn proof so that the shulkers can't teleport, which I think it is. We got buttons on all the spots they can teleport here, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to use a flying machine for this and transport him across the void. Like I said, it's going to be about 1,300 blocks or so. It's this way. About 1,300 blocks or so to get from the end city to the end portal. So the stronghold should be right around here. And hop into the end dimension. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be about 1,300 blocks in this direction. So we want to go through this end gateway first. And we should come across the first tiny little end city, which should still house some shulkers. And yes, there is still shulkers here. Nice. There's more than one as well. So 1, 2, 3. I think there's a fourth one inside as well. So ideally we want to grab 2 shulkers as a backup, because I don't want to have to make this trip twice, just in case one dies. Fingers crossed that does not happen. Which is one of the reasons I have instant health potions, just to make sure we avoid any incidents. Okay, so we want pretty much a straight shot to the end island, which is... Well, the Z coordinate is going to be 0. You can see in the bottom right there, we're currently at minus 48, 46, 44. We want to go straight this direction. We also want to miss the chorus flowers as well. We do not want to hit these because that's going to interfere with the flying machine. So we're up at Y90, approximately. I scoped out the end island earlier on before the episode started, and as long as we're on Z0 and Y90 approximately, we should hit one of the obsidian pillars, and that should stop our flying machine. And then from there, we just have to get the shulker into the end portal, which shouldn't be too much further from the obsidian pillar on the main end island. Okay, so we're almost there now. We're at Z minus 6.5. I'm going to put a block here and then stop the minecart. So we want to run some rail over here. And this way we can just transport the shulkers from where they currently have spawned over to here and then build our flying machine just off this platform. Alright, so we have the rail run almost all the way to the shulkers down here. Next we're going to build our flying machine, because I don't want a shulker up there shooting at us when we're trying to build a flying machine on the other side. So let me go ahead and put that together as well. I'm really hoping we have enough powered rail to allow the shulker to make it all the way up. In fact, maybe we should just test it. Okay, it seems to be okay so far. I kind of spaced these out randomly. I didn't really count it, but I'm hoping we get all the way there. It seems to be okay though. Yes, and we're going to stop right here. Perfect. Okay, so just a bit further to Z0. Minus 2, minus 1. Right around here, we want our flying machine, so we can launch this direction. Okay, so I got some flying machines built here. I actually built 2. Don't ask me how flying machines work in this game. It's completely magic to me. But we're going to investigate these further later in the series. For now, I just took these from the Minecraft wiki. So the plan is to have the two shulkers in the first one, and then we are going to ride the second one so that we can follow the shulkers behind and make sure the chunks are not unloaded. Because again, we have to go like thousands of blocks in this direction. Okay, so I think we got all the rails in properly. We got this rail here going into the first honey block, so they should hit this stone, and then the minecart should fall down and be solid on there on the honey. So this is the point where we have to try and pick up the shulker. Let's take off the armor, drink an invis potion, and then run the rest of the rail up here. So also make sure that we have an empty hand available. I'll keep the pickaxe on the bar, keep the food on the bar. We don't need the firework rockets. Let's do a powered rail there and power that block. And then we should be able to do this and send a minecart here, and it should pick him up. I'm hoping it's going to pick him up anyway. Yes, perfect. Nice. Okay, we got one. Let's follow this guy and make sure that he goes inside the flying machine. In fact, let's use free cam. Alright, guy. You're the one. You're the chosen one. You're the one. Okay, please make it in the flying machine. Almost there. Almost there. Wait, what? Did he just unload? Are we just too far away? Is that what it is? Yeah, that was the case. Okay, he's he's a little off the edge there, which I'm hoping is not going to be an issue. But he's in there. Okay, let's try and get the second one in as well. I think I might have just broken it. Oh no. Okay. Okay, let's try and get the second one in, and then hopefully I can reset it. Oh boy. Oh boy. The fact that this is already sort of primed here is making me a little nervous. Oh, that does not look good, does it? Maybe I should just try and rebuild it. Okay, I did end up rebuilding for safety. We'll see if it works. Let's go ahead and get the second shulker. We have more invisibility. So I think this guy should... If we replace this rail here to curved rail, he should be picked up by the minecart. Let's place one here. Oh, we're gonna have to push him. Alright. Alright, guy, go. No! No, 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 no. No, no, no. That was a close call. Oh, it's because we have our elytra on, that's why. Okay, let's take that off. I can't push him, I don't know why. And he teleported! No! Okay, there is a second one right here, though, which we might be able to grab. Maybe this guy is easier, though, actually. If we do this. Yes, yes. Okay, he shot us. He's going. Let's follow this guy up this time. Here he comes into the flying machine. Perfect. Alright, this should be good to go as long as we power this piston, which we can do with a button. Oh no, they see me. No, stop shooting. No, 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 no. No, I did not want this guy to teleport away. But I really want to grab these shulker boxes before we go. And then also get ourselves a minecart in the other flying machine there. 3 minutes of invisibility left. Okay, let's try to... Oh, I missed. Let's try to get a minecart for ourselves in this one, because we want to launch it ourselves pretty quickly after we launch the shulker. So let's do a block here, a rail, minecart, break the block. And then also we want a button on the side to activate this. Right here. Oh yeah, of course we have to break this stone as well. And then, yeah, as I said, I really want to grab those shulker boxes, but I don't want this guy to see me. I'll come back and clean up all this stone later on. But let's grab this. And I'll come back for the rail later on. But let's make sure there's nothing in the way. And we should be good for launch here. Just for safety, I'm going to hit them with a potion, actually. Just to make sure they're topped off. Although I don't suspect... I mean, if we have issues now, it's going to be catastrophic, so let's just hit the button and hopefully this works. Yes, okay, their flying machine is going. Let's give them a couple of blocks. Yes, yes, it's working. And this guy's staying on here. He's still making me nervous, though. Look how close to the edge he is. Alright, let's hop in before they get too far away. So let's launch ourselves in the minecart. And we're still invisible. But all we have to do now is wait, and hopefully we got the coordinates correct. Yeah, again, minus 2.5 and Y86, so we're a little bit lower than I kind of want it to be. I'm hoping we don't hit any chorus flowers on the way. But let's use free cam here. Yeah, it should be safe. And we're at a safe distance, so I'm hoping when invisibility wears off, they're not going to be able to see us. But yeah, 1,200 blocks to go. Okay, we're just about to exit render distance now of the island we took off from. Our invisibility has worn off. The shulkers can't see us, they're still a good distance in front of us. But yeah, the only thing that can mess us up now is pressing shift, which I almost done. In free cam though, it shouldn't matter, but I don't want to risk it. Just coming into view now is the main end island. We are about 300 blocks away, so we've travelled about 1,000 so far. And it was scary going over that void, it felt like an eternity. But yeah, we can see the gateway that we took. The main end island, or the main portal, should be right just out of render distance now. And I'm really, really hoping we hit the obsidian pillar. It sort of looks like the shulkers have gained some distance on us, but that's impossible, so... This guy on the left-hand side is just holding on for dear life. He's... You're gonna make it, little guy, I believe. Yeah, we were one block off the center, but that's perfect. That is exactly what we want. And in fact, we can probably hop out right now. Let's equip the armor again. And the elytra. Where's the elytra? Oh, I have it equipped already. Okay, so we're gonna hit this one. That's okay. Let's hop out here. Okay, I think I'm a little quick to celebrate. I just looked at an enderman there. Come on. Come on. But we now have 2 shulkers safely at the main end island. Now we're going to check where they are teleported to. So let's break our bed and reset the spawn. And then we'll go back through the end and test to see where we come out. It should be at the world spawn at 0, but we're going to have to build a platform to catch them essentially. So let's see exactly where that's going to end up before we start to try to get them through these portals. Yes, okay, yeah, we're pretty much exactly at 0. Well, we're at X 7.5 and minus 0.5, which is good. Our end portal should be at 0. This is a little dangerous, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, there it is right there. Or sorry, the nether portal, so we want to get them through this portal. So I'm going to go back to the end and pick up those rail, because honestly we don't have a whole lot of rail. And then, yeah, I'll set up the rails and see where we can get these shulkers. Okay, so before continuing with the shulker movement, let's head into a redstone test world so we all understand how this farm works. As I said in the last video, this is a farm originally by Ilmango, so I'll leave his video in the description. So, in the middle of the farm we have our primer shulker right here, opposite the snow golems. And when the farm is activated, this trapdoor opens, allowing the snow golems to shoot at the shulker. The same mechanism that controls our chunk loader here also sends a redstone signal up to the trapdoor, which allows the snow golems to shoot at the shulker. The shulker is going to try and retaliate, but because we have a stone wall in the way here, the bullets can't reach the snow golem, and instead the bullets hit the shulker itself. And whenever a shulker hits another shulker with a shulker shell, it has a chance to spawn more shulkers within a 17 by 17 by 17 cube centered on the shulker hit. So because we have buttons on the outside of the farm and slabs underneath, the only spawnable location is inside the farm. So the shulkers will spawn next to this portal, touch the portal block, and be immediately sent to the nether. And it's important that we send the shulkers away from the farm as soon as possible, because every other shulker within 8 blocks of the original trying to spawn more shulkers will decrease the chances for more to spawn by 20%. So when that reaches 5 shulkers within range of this one, we completely disable more shulkers spawning, which is why we want them to teleport to the nether as soon as possible. In the nether, the shulkers are spawned in this portal here, where they try and teleport outside the portal. And the only 2 valid spots they can teleport is on this glass down here, and also in this holding pen at the top. The ones at the bottom here are within range of a minecart on a loop, and that sends them over an activator rail and into a block space full of powdered snow, where they eventually take enough damage to die, drop their shulker shell, and this is where we can collect the drops. So far so good, right? But I mentioned last episode that this is unreliable, so why is that? Well, it can happen that this middle shulker will die or simply teleport away. So when he's below 50% HP, he has a 25% chance to teleport and not spawn a fresh shulker, which is a problem, right? Because then we have no more shulker in the middle, spawning more shulkers. However, built into this farm is a detection system. So when the snow golems shoot the shulker, they also activate a target block here, which sends a consistent redstone output to this redstone dust because of some delay. And that goes up a torch tower and into a pulse extender. So when the farm detects that there's no more shulker in the middle because the snow golems have stopped shooting, and we turn off the redstone signal, after a couple of seconds it will deactivate this torch or invert this torch and activate this trapdoor where there should be another shulker waiting for us. However, in 1.21.5 they fixed a quote-unquote bug where nether portal teleport range is too large. This bug, MC101556, has been in the game for dozens of different Minecraft versions and was reported way back in 2016. From what I understand, this bug report refers to the fact that the nether portal hitbox does not come into contact with an entity's hitbox until the specific purple of the texture collides with the hitbox, right? So if we are standing right here, we're not within the nether portal. It does not count as a nether portal in 1.21.5 because the bug has been fixed. We are only teleported when we hit the specific purple texture of the nether portal. So right here is where we teleport. So as a result of fixing this quote-unquote bug, they also introduced MC295395, where entities interact differently in nether portals. So how does this affect our shulker farm? Well, as I explained, the shulker is supposed to be waiting on top of this trapdoor. However, it gets stuck in the portal because of the way that entities interact through nether portals. So when the system detects that there's no more shulker, we get two things happening here, actually. We get the trapdoor inversion, so the trapdoor activates, dropping the shulker, who is supposed to be here. And we also invert this, which inverts the torch and pulses a dispenser, sending a minecart to the nether. The minecart is then grabbed by this powered rail on the other side. It's sent into the holding pen of the shulkers in here, over the detector rail, and that powers the rail below it, which also houses another shulker waiting to be sent to the overworld. So again, when the system detects that there's no more shulker in the overworld, this shulker will be sent over this activator rail and be sent into the nether, and the minecart is going to go up this rail here and also into the overworld. Wait, sorry, I said the nether. I meant into the overworld, through the portal. Where in the overworld, the minecart should join this track and the shulker should be inside the portal. But in fact, as you'll see here, what actually happens is not that. The minecart does not connect to this rail properly because of this apparent bug fix, because the entities behave differently. And the shulker just sits here. What is supposed to happen is there's supposed to be a minecart on this track, which picks up the shulker and drops them off on top of the trapdoor, waiting for the signal from the detection system. And then the shulker is going to be dropped down onto this rail here, over an activator rail, and be put back exactly in the position we need him in, ready to be shot by the snow golems and turning on the farm again. So it's a really genius refill system, but it's kind of been ruined by that quote-unquote bug fix. We do have some good news though. In snapshot 25W16A, they decided to revert the fix for MC101556, where the nether portal teleport range is too large. And they say, after consideration, we've decided to revert this change as it came in quite late in the snapshot cycle and unintentionally broke some functionality that our community were relying on. That's us. We'd like to revisit this at some point when we have time to deal with the issues that showed up due to this change. So this also fixed the entities behaving differently as well. So jumping into the latest snapshot, 25W18A, it was fixed in 16A. We should see that now we're back to the old familiar behavior of the nether portals, where as soon as we touch the nether portal structure, i.e. the obsidian down there, we should be teleported, and not just the specific pixels of the lit portal. So as soon as we enter the obsidian, we're going to be teleported to the overworld. And we should also see that the minecart will be correctly snapping to the top of the rail. Here it comes. Collect the shulker. There we go. Collect the shulker where he should be waiting on top of the trapdoor to refill the farm. So there is a fix for this coming in the next update. But for now, we're going to have to make do. I just wanted to explain why this is unreliable at the moment. But I still feel like it's the best design, which is why I chose to build this anyway. It's just going to mean that we have to refill the shulker somewhat manually for the moment, but I'll show you that when we get back into the main world. It doesn't mean that we have to transport the shulker again from the end, because there still will be shulkers waiting in the holding pen. It's just that when they get to the other side, they're not going to be sent in above the trapdoor. But they're here because this is the other option that they can teleport to. It's within range of the portal here. And whenever the shulkers teleport from the overworld here, they're going to teleport to any location that they deem is safe, which is the glass blocks where they're killed, and the holding pen up here where they're picked up by the minecart when the system detects that there's no more shulker. Okay, so now back to the shulker movement. So what I wanted to do here was to try to get the shulker on the bottom side of a piston so that we could activate the piston and send the shulker into the overworld. So I built a minecart track up to where the flying machines are, where they are stopped by the obsidian pillars. And now comes the difficult part, where we have to try to get the shulkers moving again. So I found that it was basically impossible to try and push the shulkers. They just wouldn't budge at all, no matter where they were inside the minecart. So you kind of have to either do some sort of a powered rail situation against a block, or push the minecart that the shulkers are in with another minecart. And even with the invisibility, they can still see you if you have something in your hand. So I got a bit too close to them. I was a bit too confident with frustration. More than anything, I just wanted them to move onto the minecart track. But then they saw me, they shot me, and I tried to escape with the elytra, but because I wanted to remain invisible, I took the elytra off, and well, yeah, this happened. So since I had so much trouble trying to move them where they were, I tried to drop them onto rail. And that resulted in this. I was sweating buckets when this happened. I thought we lost our shulker, but no. He did survive. He did survive, fortunately. He did unfortunately teleport away onto the obsidian pillar, so I kind of just ignored that guy for now, since he had taken damage. We'll have to heal him up, but I concentrated on the second shulker. Fortunately, we did have a second shulker. This is the whole reason I want a second shulker. And he was able to make it all the way down. Unfortunately though, because of the way that I used the second minecart to push him, it meant that the first minecart, or the empty minecart, hit the activator rail and the shulker didn't. And it also turned out that I missed a block when I was placing all the buttons. So the shulker didn't end up on the piston I wanted him to be on, and instead he was all over the place. But after a lot of frustration extra, he somehow ended up in the portal. So then once we had him in the overworld, we could build more minecart tracks to send him pretty much straight down into the nether portal. I had some waterlogged rail at the bottom to catch him. It took a while to try to fit the minecart. For some reason he wouldn't go in a 1x1, so I had to like kind of roll him down and use more minecarts to push him, but eventually I got him. Man, it was so tedious to do this. It took like 15 minutes just to get him down this little 1x1 hole. Because I'd run out of invisibility and I really had to go and make some more. But I was stubborn and frustrated and I just wanted this guy in the nether portal. Eventually though, I did manage to get him down there and into the nether. And from the nether, it was a very simple hop over to the farm, which is only about 60 blocks away. And so now you're joining me after I just got the second shulker through all the portals, so we now have 2 of them here. Well, one of them is in the holding pen up there. You can just barely make him out through the trapdoor. So that's the first shulker. And the second one is in the overworld. But because of that bug I mentioned, we're still in 1.21.5 here. Because of that bug, the minecart ended up stuck in the portal and the shulker is sitting here waiting. Which is fine, we can leave it like this right now. But we are going to have to deal with it somewhat manually, as I mentioned. So, yeah, so right now the Shulker Shells are going to end up in this chest over here. But I realized that I realized that when the farm is turned on, there is going to... I'm all disorientated here. Here we are. I was all spun around. Yeah, when the farm is turned on, there's going to be shulkers teleporting here, and it's going to be very hard to build. So what I want to do is add a dropper instead of the chest here. Which will drop the items automatically down to the level of the portal so that we never have to come up here to collect the drops. So we're never in range of the shulkers, and it's going to be much more convenient that way. So I think I should have everything to make this happen. We have a redstone box here. I think I'll need some redstone, a target block probably. Maybe a note block. I don't know exactly how this is going to work out. We need to make some sort of auto dropper system. So I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but the reason we're using soul sand, particularly in the overworld side, is because soul sand is less than a block tall. So the sides in the top don't count as a valid or a safe destination for shulkers to teleport to. They can still teleport to the underside, which is why we have to slab it. But yeah, that's the reason we're using soul sand everywhere. So yeah, I think I've got a dropper system here, so long as we have buttons on the side of everything and slabs underneath. This should drop. We might need a slab on here as well. This should, although I don't think they can teleport to the composter. But yeah, this should dispense anything that is in the dropper. So essentially when there is items in the dropper, we get a comparator signal, which inverts this torch, unlocks the hopper, and we have a single item here, which is then passed between the hoppers. And that will update this comparator, update the observer, power the target block, and power the dropper continuously, so long as there is items inside. So that drops the items straight down. I want to do the dropper into some powdered snow, which should completely kill the momentum. And so this way it should mean that the items land in exactly the same spot every time they're dispensed, so they won't go flying everywhere. And we can pick them up with a hopper underneath. So yeah, I think we're done up here now, and we can turn on the farm. Yeah, so let's do our final checks here. I want to remove this because I realized that they can probably teleport up there. And then, yeah, collector, I nearly fell again. Collector shulker boxes, we don't need this anymore. We don't need these blocks anymore. And yeah, one more test of the dispenser just to make sure. Yes, awesome. You can see the blocks falling straight down now because they're in powdered snow. So we don't need this anymore, and we can have a hopper underneath. I think it should be this one. I'm not sure though. It might be this chest. I may have to move that hopper, but that's okay. I'm kind of stalling here because I'm extremely nervous that we end up killing a shulker, so I want to absolutely make sure that doesn't happen. So I brewed some more potions. We're going to hit both of them with instant health. There we go. He should be more or less full HP. We can now also remove all of this rail here, which was to get the shulkers up here initially and into the farm. We don't want them teleporting to this glass, only to the white glass down there to be picked up by the minecart. And I suppose we can also add some minecarts here in a loop. We should have some minecarts on us. I don't, but I have some iron here so we can craft some. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm pretty sure that you can have multiple minecarts going around here, so... And that should increase the rate that we pick up the shulkers and drop them off in the powdered snow. So I'm going to add probably 3 minecarts. Is that 2 next to each other? I think it is. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm going to add probably 3 here to start with, and then we'll see how that works. I'm going to remove the rest of this. I don't know if I hit him there or not. I want to throw another one just to make sure. Let's do it here. Alright, that got him for sure. That for sure got him. Okay, I think now, guys, we're ready to start this farm. I'm not gonna stall this anymore. Let's just go. Let's just go. Okay, so we've got a minecart in this dispenser. I added this dispenser here, which is going to be our way to automatically or to manually reset the shulker who is going to be stuck in the portal. So what we need to do is break the minecart that was sent through with him. The minecart, and not hit the shulker. There we go. So that's going to get sent to the nether, and then we can dispense another minecart. So I have a ladder here. So dispense the minecart. That should put the shulker above the trapdoor, which is what we want. And then I'm going to disconnect this redstone so that we don't pulse the dispenser to ask for the second shulker. I want to keep that guy in the nether for the moment, just in case we have any disasters. So then we need to open this trapdoor. So let's break this torch, place it again. That should release the shulker. And now he should be in the exact spot we need him in. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, the trapdoor is still closed until we turn the chunk loader on. So let's... Did I get rid of the bed here? I did, right? I got rid of it earlier on. Let's sleep so we don't have phantoms annoying us like I did when I was building this several times. There were so many phantoms. Come on, Mojang, fix the phantoms. So now, all we have to do is switch on the chunk loader, and that should release the trapdoor and start the cycle of the farms with the snow golems hitting the shulker. And I'm hoping that we don't get super unlucky and this guy teleports away, which I think can happen before it spawns another. I really, really do not want that to happen. So let's just cross our fingers here, turn the chunk loader on, and let's see what happens. Okay, the snow golems are going ham at this guy. I saw another one. That is a good sign. That is a good sign. So also during my testing in the creative world, I noticed that some shulkers may not teleport. Oh, and also we don't have this portal lit. Oh, that's not good. Oh no. How did I forget to light that portal? Hold on. Okay. Relax. We're okay. We're okay. Light the portal. Okay, the shulker is not going to teleport, and because of that bug, that means that the hitboxes have to be exactly in the portal. The shulker lid has to open for them to touch the portal, which is also another issue in this version of the farm in 1.21.5. But I think as soon as we make ourselves visible, he's going to open his lid and try and teleport. So that's a pretty simple fix. There's still one on the other side as well, so I want to get rid of him. Maybe doing this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, he's gone. He's gone. Is the shulker still in the middle, or did we lose him already? Oh, we lost him already. Wow, okay. We lost the middle shulker already. Okay, so let's go check. I didn't expect it to happen that quick. It is somewhat random, and it's a low chance, but it is a chance for the shulker in the middle to, yeah, teleport away or die. One of the two. So let's make sure we have shulkers left in here. Aha, we do. Okay, so we can see the minecart that we broke manually, and the shulkers have started to load into the refilling station. So these ones will never die. These ones will just stay up there until we request it via the minecart. So I don't know if... Yeah, there's one in the powdered snow, so we're already getting some shulker shells. Let's go back to the overworld, and we'll have to refill it manually. Dispense another one. There we go. That puts our shulker in the middle. And then we're going to want to invert the torch. Now, we don't have to do this every time, invert the torch manually. This time I'm not going to break the redstone. I'm just going to break that and do that. And that should instantly give us another shulker. Yes, because there should always be one in the farm and then one on top of the trapdoor. Yeah, so now this guy should instantly fall down. So as soon as that one wow. Wait a second, why is it so quick to disappear? What is happening here? This rate of shulker disappearance didn't happen in the redstone test world. Like, they were in there for a good, I don't know, 15 minutes, half an hour before they disappeared. Which is, I don't know, I'm just kind of stunned that we just lost 3 shulkers there in the space of like 5 minutes. Let's get another minecart. But at least now at this point, we should be self-sufficient. We should be stable in terms of our shulker population, because there should also, yeah, there should always be shulkers in the farm at the other side in the holding pen. So yeah, now there's one up there. That's what we want. We want one in the farm, and then we want one in the holding pen on the bottom level in the nether, here in the minecart, so that when the dispenser dispenses it, it sends it over the detector rail, and that sends this one on its way and picks up a new one ready to be sent through the portal. So this is exactly the configuration that we want. It's just really a shame that oh, and the other one just got dispensed. So we're gonna have to go and refill that. Man, I didn't expect to have to refill it this often, but I think it is just random as to how long it takes. Oh no, they're all shooting at us. I don't want to be up here. Yeah, I really didn't... Oh, nice, we're getting our Shulker Shells. I was off, though. The hopper, I think, is supposed to be this block space. But there it is, the first 7. Guys, we're farming Shulkers. Oh, it's kind of a fail, though, but... wow, that Shulker billet made it all the way down. Yeah, it is kind of a shame that we have to do this manually for the moment, but it beats going to the end to farm Shulkers. And, yeah, in the next update, we can get this fully automatic, because they are reverting the bug fix. Let's break that. Oh no! Oh no, the shulker ended up there. Yeah, there's 2 shulkers here now. I suspect because there wasn't one in here when the first one died, is break this so it doesn't automatically dispense from the nether. And we can just hit this button to dispense manually when I go up here to break the minecart. Otherwise it might do what it's done here and dispense 2 shulkers. Oh yeah, the final thing I didn't talk about yet was this water column on the side, and this is just a way to recycle the minecarts. So when the minecart ejects the shulker on the activator rail, it just continues into this bubble column, and then it hits a cactus and is, yeah, put back in the dispenser for the nether collection. It kind of appears that our shulker is stuck up here. Man, we're having so many issues. Yeah, like, trying to get them through a 1x1 block space is not so easy, even in a minecart. I think it's because the second one pushed them. I ended up killing the second one here. So I think if I just dispense another minecart, that should push them into place. Yeah, it did eventually. It did eventually. Oh, this is so flawed. Okay, let's get him back in the farm. That was so fast. Why is he teleporting away so fast? So I did also replace our villagers here who were struck by lightning and converted to witches. So we got a new looting 3 villager. This guy is still not grown up. Sweeping edge 3, projectile protection 4. Another looting 2. I think I got this guy first and then I got the looting 3, so I wanted looting 3. This guy's already locked in though. I'm not too bothered about the trades here. I'm just trying to go for like decent stuff. The villagers is another project that we'll return to at a later stage. Yeah, so I'm going to have to trade for more redstone pretty soon, because we're kind of running out of redstone. But then, other than that, you guys reminded me that you can get glass from the librarians. So, this is something that I forgot about, glass from emeralds, which is a really good deal. I was shoveling so much sand before. But yeah, this saved me a lot of time, this trade. Ideally, we have all the librarians with glass, but it's only after a couple of trades that you unlock it. I think it's at the journeyman level, and this guy unfortunately doesn't have it, so... yeah, like I said, I'm not too bothered about our villager trades yet. We're eventually going to get the best of the best, but... yeah, I'm just prioritizing some other stuff in the world. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this episode. I'll let you know the status of the Shulker Farm next time. I'm really hoping we can update to fix the farm soon. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode in 3 Plays Minecraft.